Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Psycho Worldwide, One Mind Entertainment proudly brings to you two of the greatest podcast hosts in the world. I am Crazy Kevin. He is Dan Jones, and we are Two Fat Guys Podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What it do, Dan Jones? What it do?
Man, I promise you, the intro never gets old, man. I mean, we got to call Road Dog up and tell him we got something new for him.
How you feeling, bro?
I'm living good. How you feeling?
It's been a week for me.
Yeah, you had the little mishap with the kids.
That started it. That happened last Saturday. And then at the top of the show, you saw I got some news on Monday that one of my homeboys, who I call family, and he was also a supporter of the show, Isaiah Woods III, passed away. I got that phone call Monday morning, and yeah, so this is where we at right now. But Mr. Woods, Mr. Ill Woods is the type of guy like the show must go on. The show must go on. And shout out to Sean for tuning in. Appreciate you, bro, as always, chiming in with us. Man, we got a nice little show today, and we couldn't go all extra executive with it like we kind of wanted to, because Dan Jones and I kind of put this together on the little fly, but I think it's worth having done and definitely worth discussing tonight. which is our version of State of the Union.
The Union.
Right. So we're gonna be talking about the State of the Union. We're gonna be talking about the State of the Union for a couple different things within like the genres that we like to discuss, and kind of give y'all one of the topics is gonna be a little preview of what we're gonna be doing in season 2 in a few months. So get it locked, get it ready. Let's go. As you can see, Dan Jones got his notes. He didn't take this many notes in school. So
I didn't take. Wait a minute. I took a lot of notes in school. No, I didn't.
Yeah. Shame the devil.
You know, when we was in class, it wasn't about that many notes. It was just about me being there, the presence.
No, it was about notes taken too. That means that you was learning. Shout out to Raji joining in with us. What's up, Raj? Good to have you in, bro. But nah, it was definitely about learning. Sean says y'all going to talk about the story ending at Clash. We little bit, Sean. Slow down. Kind of
good story. It's like 4 stories.
Right, he just came out the gate with it. Like, calm down. I'm kind of mad because we was going to talk about the predictions, but then I checked, and the entire card isn't out yet, which I'm kind of pissed about because are they going to do kind of like what they did with Crown Royal? Crown Jewel. I said
Crown Jewel. Where did you get Crown Royal from?
You know, the purple velvet bag.
But why? Never mind.
Crown Jewel. And added some matches at the last minute. But we all gonna talk about the Drew McIntyre, and AA has a meeting for that. Shut up, Sean. You know I don't drink nothing brown. I'm a light.
Speaking of WWE, we gotta give a shout out to Andrade for beating Ricochet yesterday.
Ricochet couldn't retain the Speed Championship. What? Why, yo? Why can't he retain titles? And why?
He don't have no ribs. Thanks to Braun Breaker.
Yo, did you see the look on Samantha Irvin's face, yo, when like last week and week before last when he just got destroyed by Braun, like when Braun jumped the guardrail when he's supposed to have been banned from the building.
Yeah.
And the look on her face was just out of disgust. And then Monday she was extra pissed.
Yeah, he's having a bad month of June.
All that he's trying to do is fight Dragunov, and he keeps getting interrupted.
Yeah, it might be a triple threat at Clash.
That was one of the matches they was talking about having, but when I was like looking like the possible matches, but that would make sense. But I don't like the fact Triple H is waiting to the last minute to put the entire card out.
Because I don't think he wants people to do predictions anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but does it really matter though? Because you can
some people tell the story to tell the end of the story before it even happened.
But that's the fun part of predictions.
Yeah, but if it's true, then everybody will get credit. Like I told you.
Yeah, I understand it, but you are the chief creator of content, the chief content creator, which means you can change it at the last minute. Vince used to do it all the damn time. BKM changes up at the last second. He'll wake up in the morning
you said the name already. That's once.
Yeah, that's once. It's gonna be the last time I do it.
No, it ain't.
But I ain't say the whole name. I just said the first name. So
what name was that?
The name that started with a V. Oh my Lord. All right, so evidently Sean want to talk about this now. So let's talk about this now so we can get this out the way. He's talking about there's gonna be a phenomenal undisputed champion. You are drunk.
So he thinks AJ is gonna win?
He thinks AJ is gonna beat Cody. I don't. I don't. I
Why
think
not?
Cody's going to
Why
walk
not?
in. Why? And it's nothing against AJ. It's nothing against AJ. But you got to get Cody hasn't had a run yet. AJ just became his villain. AJ just became his villain. Now, unless they plan on having him drop it and then get it back at SummerSlam, then that makes sense. But I don't think they're going in that direction. I think once he defeats AJ, it's going to be done. But them two.
Nah.
But AJ just became his villain. Cody didn't have a villain.
I wouldn't mind seeing AJ win. And like you said, him Cody getting it back at SummerSlam, it'll be fun. It'll give us a reason to like Cody again, because a lot of people starting to fall off. We already seen John Cena once. We're not trying to see him again.
And I think that's the other thing. We got to stop trying to say he's John. Like, we done did that with a couple people. We did it with Roman Reigns. But in Roman's case, they were trying to make him John Cena reincarnate. Like, they was in the beginning. You know, but Roman found his niche. But I don't think Cody is trying to be John Cena 2.0. I do think that they're trying to make him the super face, the kid-friendly guy, you know, where, you know, soccer moms and kids will fall in love with Cody, you know, on in that aspect, which they're already done. So I don't see him dropping the title.
If he drops the title, he has to win it back. And I think this would be a way for him to go heel, or at least attempt to go heel. Because if you look at Friday, me and him was about to go heel.
Yeah, but I can't see Cody going heel between now and SummerSlam, which means AJ is going to have to go face. And the whole purpose of him doing,
He's going to have to cheat the same way John Cena cheated with the duct tape and give Batista.
Well, it's the I Quit match. So
if they did an I Quit match, you got to do it the way The Rock did with Mick Foley, use the voiceover.
I'm just going to put that right there.
AA. For Cody? Anderson. Yeah, for Cody, because Arn Anderson left AEW.
I didn't know he left AEW. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He left, and it's about 3 more people that was with Cody when he was over there are now free agents. So you know Shawn is in NXT.
Yeah.
And Randy's recovering, so she'll be back. She already said she wants to wrestle again.
It's funny too because they mentioned when the dude showed up on NXT, I think Booker T was like, "Oh man, he really is the lead," and it was kind of like them dropping the little, like, "Yeah, that's the guy from AEW." Yeah,
facts.
So,
but the thing I like, they kept his persona from AEW and brought it to NXT when he just straight smacking people with chairs.
Well, the one thing I like because a lot of people in AEW, that's their characters, like that's their personas. So, so they do what they do with their characters. Give me a minute. Oh, wrong way.
So, what do you think about the Jade Cargill Bianca situation at this moment?
Honestly, Go ahead.
Me personally, I think it should go on at least till Survivor Series. You got a lot of teams that can actually beat them. For one, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler can beat her. I think Alba Fire can beat Bianca and Jade. They're more technical than Jade, and Jade is just power.
So I know that's a match that was announced, triple threat match for the women's tag team championships with them. Unholy Alliance or whatever they call.
Yeah.
And Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks.
Let's get this straight. You keep calling Lady Blazer every time.
Because no, I corrected myself when I said it. I say Blazer, but I'm like, that's not her name, is Blazer. What you doing? She had a Pulp Fiction moment or something, yeah? Yeah, I did it. Now do it again. Did you come back?
I did. I'm back.
So, I think they're going to retain.
Right.
Because what didn't make sense to me was the week before when they had the match with Blazer and Starks, and then Alba Fire and what's the name jumped in. They jumped in, and then all four women started double teaming the tag champs, and I was like, that's kind of dumb. And then yesterday, same thing, but then
they fought each other.
They want to fight each other. Like, why did y'all do that last week?
I think somebody missed the cue.
Probably.
Somebody missed the cue, and
you say I've been drinking. Ain't nobody say you was drinking, Sean. You just told me yourself.
Man, Sean been in the gym, man.
Like you've been, you and your Steve Weisers.
And a bear, and another bear. But yeah, I don't want them to retain. I would like to see what happens when they lose because they're too arrogant because they're stronger than everybody. I would like to see them lose to a less stronger team. Probably, I couldn't see them lose. If they would lose to anybody, I wouldn't mind it being Alba Fire and them or Shayna Baszler and Zoe. I would love to see it be Zoe. I think they can go on a run longer than Bianca and them could.
Sean, you always got beer in the fridge. That's nothing new. Probably got something dark in it too.
Yep. Who else? Another match. Do you think it's a good move for Jay to be in the King of the Ring? I mean, the ladder match, Money in the Bank.
Hold on, say it again.
Do you think it's a good move for Jay to be in the ladder match, Money in the Bank? Because I know we touched on this before.
My wife is trying her best right now to be quiet because she's in the refrigerator and her trying to be quiet. She's dropping stuff.
Don't push the red button and guess what you do.
Okay. I know it's Broken Skull beer. Why, Sean, we're not surprised that it's Broken Skull beer. Like, you are the hardest Steve Austin fan I've ever met in my life, other than the guy. Do you have an Austin tattoo on the back of your calf? Because we had met somebody who actually, like, he was a Stone Cold impersonator and everything that we had met 20 some odd years ago.
Let's.
It's no. Hold up. Who are they protecting? You talking about Jade?
You talking about Jade protecting Jade?
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, from basic timing, she's getting it down packed. Now she's knowing her spots and where she need to go. She's still a little rough when the match get a little tense. She forget that she's not the person that tagged in. Eventually, it's going to get to a part where she's tired of being the person that has to run to the side and let Bianca get the pin. It's going to be that day when she get frustrated. You can see it sometime when they come down the entrance ramp that she's getting that little swing in the head thing is starting to get a little.
Nah, I think you're feeding too much into that. And she has gotten a pin.
I mean, to retain, but on the live event, like the PLE, it's always been Bianca. On regular TV, it's Jade. Pay attention to it. Jade gets the main pin on Friday.
I don't think that's going to be the course of them. Like when that rivalry actually does spark off between them, I don't think that's going to be that.
And Bianca knee all of a sudden don't hurt no more, don't it?
Bro, she said that. She said that what, Monday? Last Monday, her knee was cleared. So they was able to wrestle.
A little early.
And remember, what was it? Her right knee. So the right knee. No, the left knee. The left
knee.
Is the what?
That's the kayfabe need.
Right, that's the kayfabe need. Right, that's the short term storytelling need. Now, if it's the left, if it's the right need, it's the long term storytelling need. So
I think Randy got the short term need.
Mm-hmm.
Randy's on short term right now.
And we haven't seen Randy since
Crown Jewel.
No, we saw him that Friday. That Friday act, they haven't seen him since. He didn't have a match. Because that's when KO last week wound up fighting the Bloodline by itself and
Street Profits. Do you think it's a good idea to add him into this story?
Yeah, because they took out Bobby Lashley. Well, they didn't take out Bobby Lashley, excuse me. But when he got, remember when Bobby went out, Dawkins got put in his place, which did make sense, but didn't make sense. I guess that was the way to protect what's his name.
Dawkins would have had it.
Right. So now that's their beef with them, like you interfered.
I would like to say happy belated birthday to Montez Ford.
Shout out, happy birthday, Devil Dog.
The album is actually crazy on Spotify. I liked it, real lyrical.
Say what?
His rap album is actually pretty good.
Montez Ford has a rap album on Spotify?
Yeah, he's a rapper on the side.
I didn't know that.
Bro, he has a song with AJ Francis.
AKA Top Dollar.
Top Dollar. He has a couple songs with him. He got a song with Leo Rush. He has a song with Josiah Williams, who does all the Hustler Wrestling with Flow songs. Right. He does all of them. And he also is working on a song with Samantha Irvin.
Yeah, we talked about that for a short stint. That how she's a seasoned singer and seasoned flautist.
Yeah, that was going to be amazing if he does the way he did it before. Oh, and I think Mark Henry's coming out with a track with him. I don't know how that's going to go, but hey, listen.
No, I'd rather him do a song with John Cena than Mark Henry. No.
So I got a question for you, sir.
What up?
And a wrestling question. Do we have a problem with AEW taking shots at WWE?
Do we or do I have a problem?
Do you?
Yes. I've always had a problem with it. It's no different than when WCW did it. Like when WCW was giving away the endings. So is it good, y'all? Is it Cold Stone? It's Cold Stone? Yeah, I know that fat people know ice cream containers. All right. I know Cold Stone when I see it. That's that boy. Anyway. It's the same thing that WCW was doing. They wasting time worrying about what the other product is doing. Like when WCW was giving away the endings to Raw because it was pre-taped and all this other stuff. I don't like the fact that AEW talent and the fact that Tony Khan continues to allow this to happen to where they take shots at WWE for no apparent reason. He needs to stop that. Like, look, let's focus on us. Okay, let's get these numbers back. Because I think a couple of weeks ago, Dynamite did a very good job in the demographics. But at the same time, you guys are still pressed on WWE. In the beginning, I got it. In the very beginning, when AEW was announced and they did the
when Cody was there. When Cody was there.
It made sense because we got to let people know we're here. Sean said it is different than WCW. I don't think it's different than WCW.
No, it's not. It's not.
I disagree with you now, Sean. And like I said, the reason being is because their talent is going out of their way to take shots at them. Like when Cody won at WrestleMania, what's that? Tony Storm was like, "Oh yeah, Tony, if you got to come out, I would never have you come out and raise my hand to be in the ring with the champion." It's something she said in association of that about Triple H coming out and being in the ring with Cody and raising Cody's hand. Shorty, first of all, you don't know the history with that family between Cody and Triple H. So stop.
That family was doing that way before we was born.
Exactly. So she just needed like stuff like that. And like even in the beginning, when Jericho would take shots at VKM and Triple H and all them, dude, you're forgetting. Yeah, you was in Japan. Yeah, you was in WCW. Yeah, you wrestled in Canada. But WWE is what made you famous. WWE is what made you rich. WWE was the one that said, all right, we're going to make you the first undisputed champion. Well, it could have been Stone Cold or it could have been Triple H in that match. I'm going to need you to stop eating ice cream on the screen, y'all. Don't do that. You're a black man shaking your neck like a black girl. Don't do that. That neck roll was real. Nah, that neck roll was all. Nah, don't look at me like that. I know you grew up in the projects. That's that project girl neck roll. Don't do that.
Well, I gotta be the project guy, man.
That neck roll you just did.
Just because I'm from the project.
Aren't you from the projects?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on. Hold on. What did Sean say? But WCW was relevant. It was on the same night as Raw. There was something to flip back and forth. I'm not disagreeing with that part. It was, but you can't say AEW is not relevant because AEW is the reason why NXT got moved to Tuesday nights when they had the little Wednesday night wars. And granted, yeah, WWE lost that, but people don't want to talk about the fact how it was in transition. Triple H got sick. He got sick in the process, and then Vince McMahon took over. I said his goddamn name. BKM took over. I just said his whole name. Yeah, took over the show and made it like an acid party. Threw up. It was just bad. And then he tried to blame Triple H. No, that was you. That was you because VKM. Yeah. VKM is the reason why NXT lost the Wednesday Night Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was still too much in his old school ways. Like you think about it, he didn't want NXT at all.
He didn't because NXT did. Remember when SmackDown first went to Fridays and they actually remember when SmackDown and Raw first got split? All right. And they had the individual GMs. Stephanie McMahon, remember, was the GM for Friday Night SmackDown.
Right.
Stephanie McMahon was in charge of the writers at the time. So she took the best writers to SmackDown with her.
Right.
SmackDown was beating the flagship show in ratings because Stephanie was giving us pay-per-view quality matches every Friday.
Right, because it was not too often you see Charlotte and Sasha Banks closing the SmackDown.
Right, but this was before that. No, way before that.
You talking about when WCW was still in?
No, this is after when they did the brand split. When they did the draft.
Okay. I got you.
Right.
I got you.
This was the time when Stephanie exclusively signed Brock Lesnar to SmackDown, and he was the undisputed champion, which made that title become the WWE Championship. Which means Eric Bischoff had to reintroduce Goldie, aka the World Heavyweight title.
Right.
She was beating them in the ratings. Vince didn't like that. Yeah, stop. I'm through. He didn't like that. He didn't. So boom. What happens? He pulls the writers back and then he removes her. He fired her. And then Raw becomes the A show again.
So to what, from my opinion, he was that guy who, like I said, we all know he was stuck in his ways. He was built on. He grew up on the big man concept. Everybody big, muscle bound. Everybody that was coming out of NXT was nowhere near that unless you counted Keith Lee, Roman at the max.
He buried Keith Lee.
Yeah, he buried Keith Lee. But you had Keith Lee. You had Aleister Black. You had, oh my God, the whole Undisputed Era at that time. All four of them. And all of them went to AEW. And when they first came, they popped. The only one who had a bad showing when they came out was possibly Sasha Banks.
I'm going to be honest with you.
It's not looking good.
Keith Lee was everything that Vince McMahon wanted in a wrestler.
Except for one thing.
I mean, other than the skin complexion. But he was big. He was fast. The dude was agile as hell. He was the complete package. And you buried him because he wasn't your creation. But as far as
he was the Triple H had a certain team that you knew he was going to call up. Like, you remember when DIY was called up the first time?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he went back down to NXT. It's like we was talking about Velveteen Dream should have been called up.
Yeah, but at that time, I think at that time Velveteen Dream name also got dirty too. It's when all those allegations started coming out about him.
But it's a petition going around for him to come back. He would be good look. He would be a good look at NXT right now.
He's wrestling right now, but I think he still got to pay. He got some penance he got to pay when it comes to Triple H. I
think Leo Rush is back with AEW.
Because we can have a whole show about wrestlers that got let go and shouldn't have. Like, as much as people didn't like him, Enzo Amore shouldn't have lost his job behind the allegations. And then come to find out the girl lied the whole time, and they should have gave him back his job. Rich Swann lost his job because his wife said it was domestic violence. Come to find out she lied. And I was extra pissed about Rich Swann because, and maybe it's just because
he's from Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, every time somebody from Baltimore try to shine, or step up, something like, yeah, I was agitated with that. But there's a few people that got let go from WWE that should not have got let go of. Now, Velveteen Dream, on the other hand,
Velveteen Dream, I mean, you lost your phone and somebody went in. That's your fault for not having security lock on it.
Yeah, but it was more to it than just him losing his phone or his account being hacked. A lot of the stuff actually came back to him. So,
and then they said that his girlfriend was working at the AWDF NXT at the time.
Yeah.
She's still there, as a matter of fact.
So it's crazy because yeah, but as far as AEW taking shots at them, it needs to stop. Focus on your product.
MJF took one at them too lately.
And that's what makes me mad because MJF never did that. Like, he rarely ever took shots at them. Now it's becoming a habit because now they know that their numbers are consistently dropping.
Which remind me, there was a recent interview where they asked Tony Khan about, number one, WWE hiring all these wrestlers and underpaying them, not using all of them, and adding too many shows. And then somebody else asked him, like, that's the same thing that you're doing. When you hired everybody, he let go. He dropped about 40 people. You hired about 35.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate for about this long. I get picking those people up because you wanted to build your roster. And I get the fact that you
I'm not saying don't pick them up. But can't be...
Let me finish. What? And I see that Tony was thinking long term when he thought about creating Collision, because people say he created Collision for Punk. No, Collision was already in the works. Punk just became the face of the show when he was there. like Rampage became the Rampage was the secondary show, and then they had what AEW live or on YouTube or something like that was the pre-show, the dark matches. So he had a plan, but once again, now getting back to my side of the coin, you did everything that you knocked your competition for. Yes, VKM signed a bunch of people so other companies couldn't, or other promotions, I should say, couldn't snatch him up. Yeah, VKM held on to people and buried the hell out of them. Now, Tony Khan, you're doing the same thing. You bought Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor is not even on TV. And if it is, please forgive me, because I can't find it. So if anybody know what Ring of Honor is being showed at, please let me know. All right, so you have Ring of Honor, and you're really not doing anything with them. You had Punk, and we all know how that ended. And I really felt like that whole Punk situation came from backstage jealousy. Do you feel Brooks have a tendency to put his foot in his mouth? Absolutely.
Right.
But 2 times, though?
If you work with him long enough, you know he's not no sugarcoated person.
Right.
And then when they showed the footage, Jungle Boy was getting out of line. But you about to beat up a rental car. And they trying to tell you to stop. And Tony Schiavone is not no wrestler.
No.
You were the only one. Punk was the only one back there.
And the crazy part is nobody was happy the footage came out. Like, nobody was happy in AEW other than Tony Khan and the Young Bucks. What did you prove? You proved nothing. And then you proved that Jungle Boy was the actual instigator in all this.
And then you wear similar clothes to CM Punk in Chicago a week later, and then try to play the victim and talking about I can wrestle with a bad elbow. What was that for? Like it seemed like you were the bitter kids who couldn't get picked to play on the team at this moment. But when you got offered to play on the team, you didn't take it. Granted, creativity at that moment wasn't there. Everybody was in the VKM era. But now everybody from your team is starting to realize, like, oh, snap, this is long-term storytelling. I can come over here and prove a lot of points. Like, they just got Leo Rush. Leo Rush said he had an opportunity to go back for him and Ricochet to be quote-unquote partners, which would have been crazy.
It would have been.
But then he was like, more creativity. He didn't want to take the character that they got now, drinking the blood and all that, to remind him of the Boogeyman or Bray Wyatt. He didn't want to step on them toes. Because you notice Cody Rhodes got his belt that same week or the next week. Swerve got his.
Yeah, Swerve and Trick Williams got their belt the same week.
Oh, everybody got their WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, they were like 3 black people got these belts. Everybody that VKM buried. Now everybody's back. Trick.
Now, as far as Swerve goes, Swerve said
he buried Swerve.
Yeah, no, he definitely buried Swerve. But Swerve said he did get the phone call. He never answered.
Right.
He said they called him, and he said he didn't answer the phone. He didn't even listen to the voicemail. He just immediately deleted the voicemail because, and I don't really blame him because of what happened. It left a bad taste in his mouth. So, him dealing with Tony Khan, him dealing with TK, and he has more creative control over his character. So I get that, you know. But as far as like everything else, Triple H is trying not to paint this up in the corner like VKM did, like his predecessor did. He's trying
Triple
to give
H.
people.
Go ahead.
He's trying to give people that room to be creative and to work with the writers. And a lot of the feedback that I'm hearing on like the dirt sheets and stuff like that is that he's trusting people more to go out and cut promos without being fully scripted. All right, we're going to Paul Heyman ECW route. This is what you're going to talk about. You and Sabu got beef because Sabu interfered with your match last week and smacked you in the face with a barbed wire bat. Go. That's what they're doing. Now for like the
And it's
NXT
working.
people,
It's working.
it is. Because now you're getting more emotion in your promos. You're getting people to feel a certain way in their promos. So when they feel it, then we feel it. We feel it. Now, I can't stunt. I ain't gonna cap. Sometimes Cody Rhodes promos are getting old. Like they are. And I kind of want to see him. Now, I do want to see him get a little bit more edgier. Just a little bit, not turn heel, but like you said earlier, just kind of dip your toe in the water. Show people that you are edgy.
Listen, I'm getting tired of the whole. Eventually, the whole your daddy angle is getting old.
Who?
Like they got to stop using his daddy as a way to get him. Like if you want Cody to cry, mention his dad. And I'm like, bro, I don't need you to cry on TV all the time. Captain America don't cry at all.
Because he can't. He ain't got no damn tear ducts. Look.
But you, I mean, for Cody to go this route, you have to be that guy who can take all this. You know what I mean?
All right, let me ask you a question. Did you see the Cody Rhodes documentary?
Yeah.
All right. Remember how in the
documentary he cried there too?
Yeah, he did. But listen, how they talked about when he went to acting school because he wanted to be an actor.
And his dad gave him all that, just ring and everything.
Yeah. Here's my problem. Well, here's my beef. I can't trust Cody when he cries. Because you went to act like they taught you how to act. And that's what makes Cody good on the mic. That's what makes him really great on the mic because he knows how to be a character. But
that's what I'm saying.
But when you start crying on command, it's hard for me to take it real. Like, it's hard. Now I do believe when they talk about it, I do believe the promo he cut last year with him and Paul Heyman before him and Roman won the first match between him and Roman.
Yeah.
When he was like, I thank you because you kept your word. When you came to town, you told my father you're looking for a payday. I got you, et cetera, et cetera. And you was a man of his word, and you don't know how much we needed that money. And like I feel like that was a little bit kayfabe, not kayfabe, a little shoot in there because that was real because they was struggling for money. So I kind of get it. But when he was beefing with Brock Lesnar, and he was like, "You insulted my mother, and you insulted my family," and the tears, I'm like, I can't. Dude, it's gonna be a great match, but I can't take you real right now with the tears.
It was too much, bro. I mean, for Cody, like that's his trigger point, and I think he knows that. And the thing is, yeah, Cody does have a movie role coming up. He has about two Netflix specials. I think Charlotte is in one right now, and Becky is in about another. They're about to get ready for another book, but Cody cannot keep this belt that long. Like his reign has to be at least about 6 months. So, it's not going to be right because eventually we're going to wear out. You do the classic wrestling is like, all right, cool. You bring it down. You coming down in the suits, that's fine. You holding down the belt with one hand, that's fine. But the minute you start talking, I know sooner or later you're going to cry. It's not. You got to stop crying. He cried last night when he couldn't get to AJ.
There wasn't a cry. That was anger.
That was a cry.
Frustration. He don't tears coming at his face last night.
Black people cry when they get angry.
Cody ain't black, yo.
Cody's black.
Cody's white as hell.
Cody's something of a islander or something like that. He's not all the way. I mean, you in Georgia. It ain't too much of that.
I mean, he said I'm done. Sean said I'm done. His mother's Cuban.
They black.
I think that's what you're getting at. Not the same thing.
He got melanin in him somewhere besides Brandon.
What? He got what?
Letterman.
Letterman?
The lighter side of melanin.
He a Letterman? So he played football, made it all the way to Boston to get him a leather jacket? Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
Oh my God.
Those are all the matches from Clash of the Castle. It's really nothing much to say about AEW, bro, except for until you fill up your arena, don't talk. He's Cuban like me.
As long as I've known you, Sean, which has been 24 years, sir. No, 23 years. It'll be 23 years in August, July? Yeah, in a month or so. Anyway, I'd have never hear you reference that you was part Cuban at all.
He probably did. Never mind. I'm not doing this today. Nope.
You still can't pronounce certain towns in Virginia. So
I can pronounce them right.
Portsmouth.
There's no ITH in that. I keep telling y'all this. I tell the people at my job every day, Portsmouth. And I'm going to keep saying it. Norfolk, Suffolk. You can't tell me when you get your cousins in them, who's your cousin? Oh, that's my kinfolk. You can say kinfolk, but you can't say Norfolk. And it's the same way he said we switched the first three letters. But you're going to tell me I'm wrong.
It's Norfolk, yeah.
It's Norfolk. That's what I'm saying. They say Norfolk.
They don't say Norfolk, yeah.
Yeah, my John, where you from? I'm from Norfolk.
Yeah, he said you ain't from here.
Yeah, ain't you from Carolina?
No, he's from Portsmouth. He's in Carolina. But he's originally from Portsmouth. In the hood. I still laugh when I hear people say Virginia got hoods. I can't imagine it.
Tomato. I'm not changing it. I'm sorry. Until you tell me it's ITH in these words or it's ICK, you're screwed.
Anyway, so I know at the Double or Nothing, they had a good sellout, had good ratings, and it was also after the NBA playoffs where their ratings went back up because TNT showed the playoffs. So that affected their viewing.
Right.
But their ratings came back up after the playoffs. Now, are they going to maintain? I don't know. But they do need to start selling more tickets.
They're not going to retain the sellout. First of all, Gangrel came back out of nowhere.
Well, there's a story behind that.
Sexy Red.
No, actually, no. God, no. No, we're going to talk about that hot ass mess in a minute. Edge wanted to bring him back. I'm not with you. Edge wanted to bring him back while he was still with WWE. He wanted to do a short run with him. And they told him no. They kept telling him no. And he just wanted to give his homeboy one last run. Sean said, buy one ticket. Sean said they doing a buy one, get one. Okay. But Edge wanted to bring Gangrel back for a while, especially when he was still with WWE. And DKM kept telling him no, he didn't want to do it. And it was a whole lot of stuff that happened.
To be honest, I mean, just because you're a veteran does not mean you can have your opinion on bringing these people back, but I don't see the point. If you're gonna bring Gangrel back, I need you to bring Ed Christian.
Hold on. Shout out to Christian. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Glad you can join us. So, but you know the whole Edge and Christian thing. Christian was like big because when Christian initially came back, when Stephanie was still there and Edge was there, when he came back, this when they had the 3 brands. ECW was part of the brand. The whole idea was for us to get the Edge versus Christian match, the match that we had been begging for before Christian left to go to TNA.
Right.
Before his contract was up, and they let him out his contract, or his contract expired, or whatever the situation was, and then he wound up going to TNA, and then everybody in the executive suite and WWE was like, "Oh crap, this dude is talented. Oh crap, what did we do?" So when his contract was up with TNA, everybody knew they was coming back, and this is when like the dirt sheets on the internet really started popping. When the internet was able to start putting leaks and stuff out, and they'd be like genuine leaks. And Edge and Christian, we were supposed to have that match. But Stephanie, being a McMahon, she was like, nope, I'm going to pull a swerve on all of y'all. And that's how he wound up on ECW.
Because, I mean, when he popped up on AEW, and then now recently it was when Edge came back, he had a little shot, was like, listen, this ain't working. Then he got an interview when he was on some kind of a podcast, and they asked him, would you ever join being in the Hall of Fame? And he was like, you tell me when there's a real Hall of Fame. They're just putting random guys in there. I don't want to be in there with just anybody. And then somebody was like, are you bitter because Edge is in there and you're not? He was like, Edge shouldn't be in there either. He wasn't famous without me.
But Edge had a way better singles career than you. And then on top of that, when Edge got injured, when Edge was told that he had to retire, he went to bat for you to make sure that they put the strap on you. Edge did that. Your boy, your homeboy, Adam Cole, the cat you grew up with, did
your
that
boy.
for you.
Yeah, it was crazy. And this was the interview right before they fought. This is right before they fought recently, and I think before Edge took his belt. Now, I thought that when Edge got this belt and he fought Aleister Black recently, I thought that was Aleister Black's way out. Because, like I said, he didn't re-sign his contract yet. So I'm like, bro, if he leaves, I don't know. But Gangrel came back, and I'm like, I really don't want to see one back without the other.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if Gangrel is back permanently or that was just a one-off thing. So, because when I saw the clip, I heard the music, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing the Brood thing." And then Gangrel came out the ring, and then my very next thought was, "Damn, he's fat."
Yeah,
like
he been drinking a lot of blood on vacation.
Hey, granted, I understand. I'm carrying this load. I get it. But yo, bro, what happened?
My man came back like Sheamus.
Nah, Sheamus still had a shape to him. Gangrel,
yeah,
all this was a spear.
The incredible edible egg. Well, listen. So 2 weeks ago, there was a big announcement on NXT.
Oh Lord.
Yep. My stomach is starting to hurt already. We ain't even get there yet. Let's be clear. 2 weeks prior to that, let's say last month, somebody watches wrestling that way less I would have never thought watch wrestling, who was on the podcast similar to ours, and they asked her what does she do when she's not rapping and on stage. She watches WWE. Okay, who's your favorite wrestler? Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. It's the ice cream.
That's why your stomach hurt.
No, it's really, Sean. This person I'm talking about is going to be the host of NXT Battlegrounds.
Tomorrow night, live on Peacock.
Tomorrow night, on Peacock. I will be watching. Unfortunately, I'm talking about Sexy Red. Ooh.
There's nothing sexy about her. Not a goddamn thing.
I thought it was a joke when she came out in the leotard and she started going bow bow. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. She introduced the NXT North American title for the women, which will be a 6-pack ladder match with
a lot of people,
a lot of women, a lot of people. Yeah. I don't want this to go down the way I hope it won't go down. Because if I see him mysteriously climb his ladder and get this belt, I'm pretty much going to stop watching NXT altogether. I really think they're taking the move from AEW's book when Rick Ross had a little faction over there with Swerve, and a couple battle rappers was over there. Like DNA was over there, Tay-Rock was over there. It felt like AEW.
Can I just say real quick that I never wanted to see Rick Ross get hit in the face so much in my life. Like I just wanted. I just wanted. What's my man's name? We just said his name, yo.
Swerve.
No. Mia Yim's husband.
Keith Lee.
Yeah, Keith. I just wanted Keith Lee to punch him in the face. It's like showing up, punch him in.
Oh.
Right. Like it'd have been hilarious to hear him get punched and go, oh.
And I'm a fan of Rose. I just had to cut it on and be like, is that Ross? Is he really smacking my man Keith Lee? Nah, bro. Why are you here? You need to be helping me.
I feel like that they took that. It was a run that they took from WWE. But they did in the past with like people like Snoop Dogg and so forth. That's why they brought.
I don't even want him there.
Well, Snoop.
I don't want Snoop there.
Snoop is hilarious. Now, when people was like they should have kept him on commentary at WrestleMania, I was like, no. Let him come out, do the little thing, promote gin and juice, and keep it pushing.
Let him stay home, promote gin and juice. Let him be in the back doing interviews, like commentary that way. Go interview some people. Don't come out there. That whole time he was out there, we could have had a Speed Championship match if they had it. It's only a 3-minute match.
Did Speed start yet? Yeah, Speed had already started. Yeah. No,
Speed already started. We could have had. I would not mind having one of them matches on like a PLE.
But they can't. Why not? It's exclusive to X.
Twitter.
X.
The little bluebird. The little bluebird.
The platform formerly known as Twitter.
It's not a record label.
It's not an artist.
Twitter. It is Twitter. What's your thoughts on the Sexy Red situation, bro? Do you think it's a good move for the demographic that they're trying to bring in?
Hold up. What did Sean say? You could have just called me Hour. I was laughing with Snoop on commentary. See? Everybody was tripping up with Snoop being on commentary. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with Sean, and we watched night 1 and night 2. And look, when Snoop came out, Sean was like, we need him for the rest of the night. I was like, no, we don't.
No.
I was like, no, we're not.
No. You can give me Pat McAfee and Corey Graves all day. Them two go at it like Beavis and Butthead.
The banter between them two is classic. But to answer your question about Sexy Red,
I'm gonna just keep it funky. My personal is I don't mind how you get your money. Go do your thing. But now that you're in that light, there's certain ways you're gonna have to carry yourself. It not necessarily mean that you changing, you won't be ratchet forever. Do your thing. But now let's bring some sense to it. I'm not a fan of the tattoos on the faces. I'm not a fan of your music. But if they bring you in for the demographic, be that. We'll hop in the ring once or twice. Just let me know so I don't watch. And I know it makes it come like I'm a hater, but I'm not. Just stay in your lane.
Oh, no, I'm an absolute hater. I'm an absolute hater. I do not want her there for any shape, form, or fashion. Like when I found out, even the weeks before it became public, when I was watching one of my favorite YouTube shows called Russell Talk, and they brought it up. Russell Talk said it, and then Sportspedia.com said something about it. And I was like, no, this ain't real. This can't be true. And then it popped up that she was going to be. I was like, I literally was instantly disgusted. Like, there's nothing about her that I like at all. I don't get it. And maybe it's an age thing. Yeah, I'm in my 40s, but there are artists out here I do like. I like Kendrick. I don't like Drake. I never liked Drake.
I don't think anybody from Baltimore really likes Drake.
You know what turned me off of Drake? Don't get me wrong, it is certain Drake songs I like, but what turned me completely off of Drake is when my man did the song Started from the Bottom, and I'm like, you did not start from the bottom, sir. You had a whole TV show that went to syndication. You're a liar, okay? No, Jimmy, stop lying, okay?
But that's what they bringing it there for, is the demographic for the younger kids. You want to bring all the younger kids to the NXT, so when their favorite wrestler from NXT goes up, now you got them over the WWE. Because I can tell you right now.
But that doesn't mean that they're going to hold that demographic.
You're right. Next year, when Trick Williams goes to WrestleMania next year, we're going to find out where she stands.
I don't even think she's going to make it that long. I think they're bringing her in for the pop, like you said, to get the demographic up. But I think once she's gone, a lot of them going to leave. That you're all going to keep people that's going to go, yo, this is actually quite entertaining. This is not as crazy as people make it seem to be. So yeah, I'm gonna stick around and I'm gonna continue to watch it. And then you're gonna have the ones that's like, oh my God, Sexy Red gone on. No.
Of course. So off of the Sexy Red situation. This question just popped in my brain. Do you think we should have another AEW Evolution? I mean WWE Evolution? Just an all women's pay-per-view?
Yeah. I've been wanting one of those since the first one. But of course, somebody that's not with the company anymore, because he had all types of sexual allegations against him, shot it down.
No, you didn't.
Are you saying yes, Sean, to his question? I think Sean is saying yes to your question, but I think we should have another Evolution.
We should have one, and we got enough. We got more women than we got men now wrestling.
Yeah, I don't like recreating Evolution on my WWE 2K game in Universe mode. Sean said that should be
a big pop.
Huh?
If you promote it right, they would get a big pop.
No, I agree with you. Because between all three brands, you have enough women to carry at least a 2-hour PLE. It ain't got to be a major PLE, but you have enough women to carry at least a 2 and maybe a 3-hour PLE.
To be honest with you, if you give it an invasion type feel.
But see, we kind of did that with the Survivor Series thing when they was having like the the NXT people when they was
but you did it with the men and women. Just do this strictly with the women.
I think that will work.
That'll work. Just have like Ava. Is her name Ava? Yeah, have Ava come up with her squad. Just have her pop up talking to Nick Aldis. Or
And
let's just say one day they having a meeting.
So, and since NXT NXT doesn't have their own. No, does NXT have their own women's tag champion?
No, the tag champions is whoever is Bianca and Jade. They go to All Branch.
Nah, I'm trying to remember. I'm about to double check.
They did have it at first because it used to be the group with Mandy Rose.
No, they do have their own. Hold on. I looked at men. Sorry, hold on.
I don't think none of them are men. Just to clarify that part.
Shut up.
Don't have none. I thought they did at one point. Like I said, it was.
You know what it was? They were originally the NXT Women Tag Titles when Regal introduced them back in 21, and because it was Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez as the inaugural champion, and then somehow it became all three brands.
That means that's cool for it, though. You can just bring them. Bianca and Jay should go to everyone. And now that they got TNA involved now, they should do it. Cause I think TNA is more involved with NXT.
Oh, and that's the other thing because Jordan Grace, she's going to be at Battlegrounds tomorrow. And this is what her third appearance. Because she had a match last Tuesday. She was at the Royal Rumble. She cut a promo.
She's going to hurt that lady, bro.
And see, because she's facing the NXT Women's Champion. And, I'm just going to say it. It needs to be a draw.
Huh?
It needs to be a draw. Because you don't want to pin Jordan. You don't want to pin Jordan Grace because that's going to make her look weak. And then people are going to feel some kind of way because TNA is not a major brand like WWE is. So they're going to say, oh, WWE brought her over, paid for her just to bury her. You know how people are going to talk. But then now if what's-her-name loses to Jordan Grace, they're going to say, oh, my God, like you just buried your own person. Like,
okay.
So Sean is saying that she's taking it back to TNA. I don't think she's going to take the NXT title back to TNA. I think that match needs to end in the draw, like a double DQ or a double count out, and that way you save face for everybody. Nobody looks bad.
Did you see the jacket she had on though when she was at NXT?
No.
She had it on the back of her jacket when she came on last Tuesday. On the back of her jacket said NXT when she got into a little match. It'll make sense if you're going to bring that group over here to make the band big. And I think Trick Williams is fighting somebody from TNA.
Now, Sean says she may do it so her and Naomi can feud again. Because remember, she did pin Naomi before she left to come back to WWE.
I mean, well, if they got the tag team titles, then Naomi can get the TNA. That means the big three is going to take over everything.
But what does this like? Is this a partnership or is this a buyout?
I think it's a partnership. Like I said, Trick Williams is fighting the dude from TNA, and Jordan Grace is over there.
She was in a She was
at another program
but a month ago.
It's a partnership,
which I'm actually liking because now we get to see. It's their version of the Forbidden Door. And Sean said it is a partnership.
Yeah. Their Forbidden Door is TNA. And the crazy part about it is most of WWE went to TNA. I think Jinder Mahal is over there. Who else? Zack Ryder's over there under another name.
He's under his real name.
Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madonna, not Corona.
Yeah.
And he's actually injured. He tore something that needed surgery, so he's gonna be gone for a better part of a year. Oh, speaking of idiots, what's that dude's
EC3
name?
over there. My man, EC3.
He went back.
Huh?
That's what he got known at. What's
EC3?
that guy's name? Yeah. Because EC3 was supposed to be like Dixie Carter's nephew when they introduced him.
Dixie Carter. Why don't you sound familiar?
He was the original owner of TNA.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler is down there. Thank you, Sean. Dolph Ziggler is down there under his real name.
It's him and his brother.
Yeah, him and his brother. Yeah.
Ziggy.
Yo, what is that guy's name from AEW that's under Ring of Honor and under he was in New Japan?
Dean Ambrose.
No, not Dean Ambrose. This guy's from New York.
AJ Francis.
AJ Francis is from Baltimore, yo. He has a whole Baltimore tattoo right here on his forearm. What are you talking
This is
about?
exactly why he ain't getting no push.
I can't think of that guy's name. It's gonna come to me, but I'm not thinking about it no more. He looked like a better version of the Brooklyn Dodger. I mean, the Brooklyn Brawler. Yeah, but this fool tore both his ACLs because he was in a match in New Japan, and people kept saying that he was wearing himself thin because he was wrestling between AEW. I think he was a
I know what you're talking about now. Wow. I know what you're talking about. Big dude.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, he did a little flip and landed right on it.
Yeah, like went through the table the wrong way, and there all types of mess. Yeah. Tore both his ACLs.
He should go ahead and retire. You should go ahead and retire. Your legs are gone. Just do it like that. You like Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump. They're just gone.
So, this one company, man, I ain't thinking about it no more. But anyway, I think it'll be good for the business, though, y'all. And getting to see other people from different brands, actually, and we probably get some dream matches in reality. So
it starts to remind you of it reminds you of the multiverse.
No, we're not doing this again, yo.
It does. Just think about it. Now you got Jordan Grace coming out of her universe, jumping over here to the NXT universe. Then you got potentially Trick Williams going over there to defend his belt in that universe. And the dude that's from AEW universe jumping over to TNA universe, New Japan's universe, and could potentially go on NXT's universe. Because you got an open-ended contract. Either multiversal jumps. And I'm saying it because it seems to be true. You know, I compare everything to Marvel and all of it winds up being true eventually. The intro for WWE is Then Now Forever Together. That's another one. The whole story mode with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes was another one. The struggle. The what? The Ziggler versus the Pauls. The Pauls. What's the Pauls?
Logan and Jake.
Pause. You're gonna put. Never mind. All right, let's get this out of the way. Your boy tapped out against Mike Tyson.
Huh?
He tapped out against Mike Tyson. The match is going to be in September now instead of July.
No, it wasn't him. It was Mike's people. Because when Mike fell or something happened, they pushed the fight back. That wasn't him. That was Mike. That was Mike's people.
Yeah. See, sources said it was Mike. No, it was Jake. Sources said it was Jake. Because Logan on his podcast was like he decided not to wrestle. He decided not to fight.
No, something happened with Mike Tyson. He fell out or passed out or something. And they just wanted to make sure he was all right. And they pushed the fight back. Because Roy Jones was like, Roy Jones said, "I'll step up in place of Tyson," and he was like, "No, we good. Go sit down, Roy."
You just lost to Mike Tyson.
Exactly. So
Man broke your ribs with a few punches.
So
who is it? Who is it? Name somebody who's a Jake Paul fan.
Yeah, they was doing a flight. Yeah, something I told you something happened with him. So they just wanted to make sure he was all right. Like he had like heart palpitation or something. But no, it was on his side. All right, yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question.
What up?
Is Hollywood moving backwards? We talked about two State of the Unions, which is WWE, AEW, and Sexy Red. So I love the delay. Hold on. What is Sean saying? Just making sure because you said your boy when I said the pause. Yes. What are you saying yes to? They're all cats.
Oh, yes, they are going backwards. I don't think they have a lot of, like you said, well, I've been in the movies and for years, like everybody else, but I had a couple stints with a couple record movie labels and a long time during college. It's a long story. I'll tell you after the show. There is no more creativity because to me, there's not a lot of trust in these actors and their directors. They're trying to bite off of something that already happened, but then you can't. As far as
there isn't an original idea left.
But see, there is. But the problem is they don't want to put that big budget on these movies. It's the equivalent to what they did with Jonathan Majors as far as in Marvel. The original idea was for him to play Kang the Conqueror. So you put all your eggs in the basket, you get them. Every single character in Quantumania was Jonathan Majors. Something happens, and now you have to retract everything. Because it looks, even though guilty, not guilty, it still is a bad name on Marvel. This is the whole thing with Marvel, Robert Downey Jr., if anybody else, but however, their mold, they got to go backwards in order to go forward. I don't like the fact that you have about 6-7 movies and then you want to go back to the beginning. Like we ain't already seen the first 5 movies already. They don't have no faith in the origin story in Hollywood. Am I making any sense to you?
Yeah.
The origin stories, they think people don't want to see. But by the 5th movie, now we want to see why this person is like that. Prime example, what's about to happen? Transformers.
Yeah,
we already seen the second.
Prime origin.
The origin is coming out in September.
Right.
But we done already seen the first 6. We done went all the way from Shia LaBeouf to Mark Wahlberg. The kids from Holes. The kids from Holes. I remember Holes on Disney Channel. The kid from Holes, Shia LaBeouf, versus Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. We went there.
That with Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark. This is how we used to get the party started. That's an Eminem line, boys and girls. That's an Eminem line from his first album.
Shady.
Aftermath.
Yeah. They're going backwards because now that they feel as though oh, we got the story that we wanted now. Everybody knows the start point, the midpoint to the end. But now we're going to reverse it and show you the beginning. You gave us, the last one you gave us that was hard was Bumblebee. And then you gave us Rise of the Beast. Now your Rise of the Beast is about to give us the G.I. Joe with Transformers. But then before that, we're going for how did Optimus Prime become Optimus Prime.
Here's the problem, though, because you're talking about, or they're talking about doing an origin story for Prime, but wasn't that what the what was that movie called? The Fallen? With
the Rise, Revenge of the Fallen?
Yeah.
It
like
kind of
the origin right there.
That's what I'm saying. It gave us the origin of when he became. He already gave him the Fallen is Optimus' mentor.
Right, but it gave you the origin of Cybertron.
Gave it origin of Cybertron, but now they're going to put it in full form. It's like I don't understand how you give us pieces to the movie, to the origin, but then you decide 10 years later, let's just give them the whole story. We're not going to put it in big budget form. We're going to put it in CGI form.
Well, first of all, CGI is big budget. Let's not get that twisted. CGI is very expensive. But to play devil's advocate,
I would rather put it in. Well, you got Jerry Bruckheimer behind the wheel. A lot of movies are bigger budget than CGI.
Yeah, but it got to a point where Jerry said he didn't want to do no more Transformers movies.
Yeah, I think this was Rise of the Beast was his last one.
So when it comes to the special effects, I thought he stopped when Mark Wahlberg came on board.
No, I think he did Rise of the Beast. Like he was behind the scenes as far as like how to shoot when there's nothing chasing you. You know, he's a master at that.
Yeah, but he didn't direct Rise of the Beast.
You know, I got to dig into that one. That's the season 2. Trent, I can't. I hate the fact that they do that. There's the Transformers one, and then now we're going into the Marvel universe, and now DC is trying to go back and backtrack. DC is now about to put out an original Superman that looks almost like Christopher Reeve.
The director of Rise of the Beast was Stephen Catley Jr. or Catley Jr. That's who directed Rise of the Beast.
Cool. I know him.
So the thing about DC though, and this is not the first time, the second time, or the third time that they did an origin story for Superman. We know where the hell he's from. We know what happened to his planet. We know his father was a great man, and nobody wanted to listen to him. And when the planet started to fall apart, he threw his son into a rocket ship with all of the knowledge that he would need to know when he got to a planet known as Earth. And he landed in the Clark's backyard
of Kansas.
Sean said it's the Rock's fault.
That ain't the Rock's fault. They were planning on shutting that down for a minute, way before the Rock was their last hope.
No, I think when he's saying the Rock put the nail in the coffin. Like you said, he was already talking about it.
Hey, Black Adam was the shit.
The fact you can sit there and say that with a straight face. You, sir, won an Oscar today.
I always said I would get one before I died.
For best straight face while telling a lie, the Oscar goes to Daniel Jones. Yeah, sure. Me. This comment for you, yo.
Bruh.
Oh God. Yeah. I'm tired.
Listen. It is what it is. My thing, I'm giving James Gunn is, the head of DCEU, whatever you want to call it. Starting off with his Monsters division with the Godzilla movies and all that stuff. You're doing a good job. But when it comes to these superheroes, he's doing the villains, the heroes that we don't even talk about. Like, if you've seen the Suicide Squad with Idris Elba, was it Idris Elba? Yeah, all them characters was people in the comic books we didn't even mention. The little girl that played with the Rats, the polka dot guy, he did a good job with Peacemaker because now he's signed on for 3 seasons. Shout out to John Cena. And the first season was pretty funny. That was pretty awesome. But now you got to go back.
I think John Felix Cena Jr. is underrated when it comes to his acting skills.
That's his name?
Yeah, John Felix Sr. Cena Jr.
And he can't never be a heel now.
Why? Because his name is Felix? The best part of Black Adam was the Superman camo.
Go to bed. Go to bed. Black Adam wasn't that bad, bro. That's crazy. If you can sit through Blue Beetle, you can sit through Black Adam.
If you can sit through what?
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, no, I never sat through that either. That just looked, when I saw the commercial for that, I was like, nope, I'm good. I could die happy never seeing that movie.
Blue Beetle was nothing but Ant-Man, so he was another animal. Insect. Ant-Man turned into a Blue Beetle.
You over there dropping stuff? All right.
Don't worry about it.
He was like, Sean said, that's a nope for Blue Beetle. I got one more question for you.
What's up?
Is the MCU doomed? Now, before you answer that, I want you to think about it for a little bit, because this is the first summer that there will not be an MCU movie being dropped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not dropping an MCU movie this summer.
I know.
And people are like this, right? This is people.
All right, so now I'm gonna break it down.
Break it down, Derek. I'm sorry.
You ever seen a fat boy? Yeah, you know his arms can't really go all the way down there. Just smack yourself in the stomach.
My arms can go all the way down there, so I'm okay. But go ahead.
I'm built like a rhino. I'm sorry.
Continue,
so,
sir.
MCU is not doomed. There's a reset that's going on in the MCU.
This is not Nintendo.
Yeah, they're trying to do a reset because it's what we talked about before. Have all that.
It's the hand in the face.
All that stuff that they claim wasn't canon to the MCU. You start to realize over time that all of it, majority of it was canon. All of it has its own certain spot in your timelines. And now that you got rights to the X-Men, now you got to find a way to put them in there. Since you can't completely swipe out everything and start over, you're going to use Deadpool and Wolverine to do that. But let's be clear, Deadpool is not in the MCU as of yet. This is still a regular Marvel movie.
I'm about to say, yeah, you need to clean that up because he does eventually show up.
Eventually, he's going over, but the next 2 Deadpool movies will not be there. They're going to use him in order to break down some of the things. Deadpool is going to be the one to reset the MCU as far as what happened in the last 2 phases. Yeah, I had to get the word right before I said it. They're not there. They're starting to separate the things that what they needed to, as far as what goes here, what goes where. I think they have something now called Marvel Spotlight, Marvel Television, Marvel Animation, and it's another Marvel brand that they're doing now. Their Marvel Spotlight is what they're using to introduce characters now, to introduce new people to the MCU, whether you're gonna get a TV show or you're gonna get a movie. I think it's just gonna basically be a TV show, like an origin story for everybody. Something they should have done a long time ago. Marvel Television is pretty much how we got the Daredevils and the Defenders and the Punisher movies, how we had them on Netflix. This branch, this division focuses on them only. Not saying that they're not going to be in the major movie, but those are the ground level based people. You know what I mean? You
like
keep it.
Punisher was always better off like on Netflix instead of a full-fledged movie. Because
I don't think he's going to be a movie no time soon. Keep him as a seasonal show, because them Netflix Marvel shows is hard.
Like, I don't like how Netflix, and I don't know if it was Netflix or Marvel or what, but Sean is saying there should be a Punisher movie.
No.
I don't like how they just got rid of Luke Cage. Now, I don't know if that was a Marvel thing or if that was Netflix, but Luke Cage was kicking ass. Excuse my language, I apologize.
Yeah,
he was that show was rocking.
I think
and plus, that show also gave us the opportunity because there was like other characters. It took place in New York, which is where Spider-Man is.
Right.
And it was also around, they were slowly introducing other villains in there because they mentioned Kingpin a couple times.
Right.
In that series. So
come on with it. I got you. Go with it.
So they mentioned Kingpin and they mentioned a couple other people. So that was giving you like this is going to be a nucleus, and this is going to be a caveat for us to start bringing other MCU people in, either via movie or via the series. So even if we don't get a major movie, we're going to start getting major spinoffs from off of Luke Cage alone.
And this is why you got to get your Disney Plus on, bro. I say this because they bought out Echo. Echo was a major character. She's linked to Daredevil. She's linked to Hawkeye. She's linked to Kingpin. Kingpin was in Echo as well as in Hawkeye. So he's back. They bought Daredevil in doing a Spider-Man. Was it No Way Home? Spider-Man No Way Home. Daredevil was in there. His show is coming out later this year. The Daredevil Born Again. That's coming out later this year or early next year. Somewhere around that. First quarter.
Even when Daredevil had the show, what was on CW? It was still a good show.
Yeah.
It was still a good show.
CW just got bought out. That's all that by Fox.
Yeah.
CW got bought out, and a lot of them shows, it was like, well, I still got it, so Marvel ain't got to worry about it. The only problem is now, which Kevin Feige is doing to separating everything, he has to have directors strictly for those situations. If you want directors for your origin shows, keep those directors. You want directors for your movies, keep them for your movies, because that was the problem with the last phase. There was too many hands in the cookie jar. And then when everything went south, nobody did anything.
But even in the background, those directors still should work together.
They should in some kind of way.
Just like on a collaboration level, so the storytelling can be consistent. So when they're going, if you are the director of the TV series and you know that one of your characters is about to get launched into a movie, then you should be able to sit down with that movie director and go, "Hey, look, this is the vision. Right? So this is my direction for this character. Which way are you going?" They are going to say, "I'm going in this direction." All right, so can we meet here And in that way, it's a smooth transition. So even when we come back from the movie back to the TV show, it doesn't skip a beat.
Right. I've always said that in this situation, the main person who should be getting that bread is Spider-Man. When it comes to those ground level characters, Spider-Man
we talked about this before, where he's a nucleus.
Right, but at the same time, what they're doing, Sony is having their own version of. Sony is doing the Spider-Verse. You see what I'm saying? What they're doing with this new thing that they're doing their own version of what the MCU was doing. The matter is, they're going to use Spider-Man for the whole thing. The same way we use Iron Man for the whole thing, for the whole few phases. But the thing is, they're not going to use Tom Holland. They're going to use the guy from the Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
Based off the timeline of Madam Web, which is still one of the best movies this year. Somebody can fight me on it. We can throw hands. I don't care. From what they're doing, they have to set that aside. Madam Web is the main part that connects all the spiders. But for this part, she's using the Amazing Spider-Man. And for this part, she's using Tom Holland. Because she's splitting them two different universes to come through. His Sinister Six, his Venom, against his Sinister Six, his Venom. So I think in the next 2 years, it'll be broken down for everybody to understand completely. Just because, like I said, Madam Web connects everybody. All through the Spider-Web sense, all spiders sense the same thing in this connectivity. By her saying that she can see it all, she automatically put together what's going to happen in the Sonyverse. She automatically sees what's going to happen in the Marvelverse. Tom Holland is already set for Spider-Man 4. And Andrew Garfield is already locked in for another Spider-Man. So now where are we going? One of y'all got to introduce Miles Morales. Is he going to be in Tom Holland's, or is he going to be in Andrew Garfield's? My personal opinion. Where do you think he's going to go?
I would rather for it to be Tom Holland.
Explain.
So if I'm going off of Miles Morales, that like based upon the video game and even the animated movies that they did for him, how many Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man has more in common than Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Okay.
So that's why I say them. Sean is saying Andrew Garfield. But that's going to be one of those, there's always going to be one of those debates. Andrew Garfield is respected. And maybe I'm a little biased. I just like Tom Holland the best because Tom Holland plays a great Peter Parker. Like everybody did a great Spider-Man, but it's Peter Parker for me in that Spider-Man character. And Tom Holland plays the best Peter Parker because he has that timid look to him, and kind of like how Peter Parker did. And he even had what the hell? I don't know, people letting off fireworks or what? Outside my window.
Oh, they're doing that around here too for some reason. I thought it was July 4th for like 3 seconds.
But excuse me. He even has that stutter that Peter Parker has, which I think is freaking phenomenal. Like nobody else has had that stutter. If you watch Peter Parker from the animated series, he had a stutter, especially when he got extremely nervous because he was already timid.
So I get what you're saying. On your whole part, I think I agree with you. Because at the end of No Way Home, when he got back into his original suit, like his handmade suit and whatnot, that was to establish that he's going ground level bad guy. So now within the next year, he's going to hit up with the Kingpin, whichever one can catch Gwen Stacy, where Miles Morales should. Oh, that's wrong. So made him ground level. That situation right there made him ground level. Now this side over here, where Andrew Garfield is going to be, I think he's going to get to be that one to go more on the cosmic side. He always kept saying he wanted to fight aliens.
Excuse me.
He done fought the lizard mans and them already, but he never fought a Venom. So it makes perfect sense for him to get his own Venom. And this is the one where he said he lost his temper because he stopped holding back his punches. He's already showing that evil side. So it makes sense for a piece of the symbiote from Venom to already go up on him. So he can turn into, you doing a little slicky ring thing? But we ain't gonna talk about Doctor Strange. We're gonna stay over here with Spider-Man.
The show.
And you, huh?
Nah, so I hate to cut you off because we can go on and on and on and on and on about this. But
we can do a State of the Union too.
Oh yeah, we definitely. I can do that. So we're gonna go ahead and make this our cutoff point for the night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We appreciate y'all so much for chiming in. Sean just sent one more message. This is the last Venom movie, so how do you get Venom into Garfield's Spider-Man verse? Sean, we will save that question for later.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Go.
Read that whole question. Read that whole question again. Go ahead.
This is the last Venom movie. So how do you get Venom into Garfield's Spider-Man?
Because this is the last Venom movie. He's not getting his own series anymore. He can jump in anybody else's movie. There has to be a way for you to get him out of there. You see what I'm saying? Because quote unquote, somebody's going to die in this next Venom movie, since it's called The Last Dance. It might not be the last dance as far as death, but the last dance with Eddie Brock.
So you think the symbiote can take over, like Eddie Brock's going to die and the symbiote goes into another body, but this one is going to be.
Like I would think he would go on to Andrew Garfield. I think his whole energy is going to change. Because honestly, the symbiote, if I want to put it in a hood term, the symbiote is like a perk.
Right, but you also got to understand in these Venom movies, we didn't get the Venom. We got like this comedy, kind of funny, easy. Not I won't say easy going Venom, but he was.
That's what I'm saying. And Andrew Garfield already said in No Way Home, he felt bad because after he couldn't catch Gwen, that's when he started to stop holding his punches back. He stopped hesitating, and it made him angry. So what if you still catch him, and he's still going up against these villains, and he's really beating them half to death half the time?
I mean, at one point, Spider-Man was Venom. It was a short fit, so I can see that. But then now you running see, we're not gonna keep going with this because we're gonna be here all night. So,
because you're a Spider-Man fan,
I am, but so are you. So,
I know.
But
and I'm a scenario guy, so it's I honestly think this will work out.
We just spent the whole show. We just spent the whole show, and I just realized you don't have your ring light on.
I have a light on my vlog, but at the same time, it's a little vlog. See, it don't even do nothing. It's a little square space.
Yeah, next time now keep using your daughter's light. But
I bought that myself from Big House.
Sean, we trying to get off the air. Stop asking questions and comments. He said, so you gotta have Secret Wars then first. Do not comment on that. Put that in your back pocket. We're not gonna keep doing this because we gotta get off of this. But like I said, we're gonna pick this back up. So make sure you write that down. Put that in your notes.
I am.
So Sean said, I'm gonna be quiet then. You still talking, Sean. All right. Yeah, write that down. Yeah, so you gotta have a Secret Wars then first. So there you go. All right. And, once again, we want to say thank y'all for chiming in, and thank you who are going to be watching on the replay. We appreciate y'all so much. As I said before, Danny and I, we got more stuff coming up. This was a little preview, especially about the AEW shooting on WWE. We got a whole series coming up on that. Not just AEW and versus WWE. We got a special series coming up in a couple months for season 2 that we're going to be launching for the podcast. We probably, because Clash of the Castle is next weekend, so we're probably going to be reviewing that. I know I still have to do my Fast and the Furious, which I'm wrapping up the research on that. I've been having to take care of some other stuff in my personal life, which is kind of taking priority over the show. But I already talked to Danny about it, so that's why he keeps stepping up with the MCU stuff. So I appreciate you, my brother.
No problem. I got a bunch of them in the books ready to go in the clip.
I know. Real quick, and not to bring the show down, as I said before, I lost a very dear friend of mine at the beginning of this week. Called him family. He was family. He's my cousin. I called him my cousin. And he was a very big supporter of this show. We will refer to Isaiah as the Ric Flair of the crew / Jim Cornette. Reason we called him Ric Flair is because he was just always the slickest cat with us and the slickest talker. And we called him Jim Cornette because there was nothing about wrestling, sports entertainment, professional wrestling he did not know. He was a massive hip-hop head. Nas was his favorite artist. So I am going to miss my friend dearly. I'm going to miss my family dearly. But we will never forget him. He will always be with us. And I'm saying this, give people their flowers while they are here. Let them know that you love them and that you are thinking about them and that they are always special to you. And if you got beef with people, especially family, let that shit go. Let it go. Make amends. And if they don't want to make amends, just clear your conscience with it and be done with it. And because you don't want to leave here saying, I could have reached out, you tried to squash this, and you didn't. So don't let this be your last moment. Not, tell somebody that you love them. So, like I said, I'm sorry if I brought the show down. I just wanted to make sure I gave my man his flowers one last time.
No, that was something to say when you done.
He had a whole crew of guys that is going to miss him, and this has been a week for us. He struggled through some stuff health-wise, never complained, kept fighting, because that was Isaiah. So, I'm going to miss you, my brother. I miss you now. Go ahead, D.
Piggybacking off of what Kev talked about last week as far as mental health month, I didn't want to bring it up, but I too was once one of the suicide train. I think me finding the light after my mom and my dad died has been a good blessing because I was actually in a dark place, and I think that changed my attitude as far as I was a real asshole when things was being in the darkest time. And I think me being married and I found different outlets to take it on. I think honestly that's around the time I actually met Kevin. Kevin didn't know it, but he was one of the guys that helped me when he was one of them days I was actually thinking about offing myself before I got on that shuttle. And I just happened to meet you bumping into me on the bus right before we got on the bus. That's when I first seen you walking around with the belt. That day.
That was my birthday.
That day it was something in my book bag and I was going to do it on the train. So yeah, I never told you because I didn't want nobody to go crazy or what's wrong with them. But yeah, that was around the time my mom died. And a day later, we gave birth to my daughter. Yeah, so it was kind of rough. Then recently, my nephew, a couple cousins, and my brother. So I think this podcast started coming in at a good time. And if you love somebody that's out there for the mental health, even if you don't talk to them a lot, just send them a text. When you know that they're cool with people, send them a text, give them a call. There's a reason why I act the way I do. I'm always laughing, cracking jokes. If I think about reality, I don't want to be in this reality. I love Marvel comic books just because of that fact. It takes me out of my everyday life. So yeah, call them, see how they doing. Even if you don't talk to them a lot, just call them and check up on you. You never know.
You'd be surprised what a phone call can do for somebody. I promise you. So, with that being said, we're going to bid y'all farewell. God bless. Good night. And once again, as always, my friends and family, thank y'all for tuning in. And tell a friend that it's Two Fat Guys Podcast again. Danny, remember, stand by.
Yeah.